I hate to bring up politics at a time when there's been so much devastation down south to so many of our fellow Americans. But whenever a president goes to visit the scene of a disaster or something like that, there is a political opportunity. And it's interesting, Crystal, that this happened in, I guess, sort of a red state.
Sure.
So the president's going, the Republican governor will meet him there. A lot of the people on the ground who he will meet with presumably are people who did not vote for this man.
Correct.
Probably have no plans to vote for him in 2008, or 2012 rather. And maybe even are amongst those who have doubted his citizenship and who have, is there an opportunity though for the president to reach out to them in a way that could help sort of maybe tamp down some of the rhetoric and some of the hostilities that have been around the last several weeks?
Well, I think historically in our country, we really see our nation come together out of tragedy, like what we saw after 9/11. So, do I think that this is going to transform Alabama from a red state into a blue state? No. But I do think the visual of seeing a Democratic president, a Republican governor going to a red state, all of us relating on a very human level, I think it is somewhat healing for the country as a whole if there can be a silver lining to this kind of tragedy.
And David, we saw the president do very well by pretty much all accounts when he had to go speaking of Gabrielle Giffords, when he had to speak at the memorial service in Tucson for those who were killed in that horrible situation. Again, another red state, and here comes the president. And is there an opportunity, as Crystal's suggesting, to maybe, I don't know, maybe bring about a little bit of healing and a little bit of goodwill that could, maybe carry on? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we can get a silver lining if politics is kept out of it by both sides. And even in Tucson, unfortunately, as important as the speech is well delivered, the president, if you read the text and I followed his speech, managed to get political points in there. He has to do two things, and I think he missed an opportunity early on. When he went to do the Oprah show and the 3 fundraisers in New York and this tragedy started unfolding, as a president at that point, I think a larger message to the nation would have been to stop anywhere he has the bully pulpit and say, as this is unfolding, I'm your president, I'm aware and I'm concerned. That has nothing to do with party. That has to do with what a president does from an image point of view for the nation. I think that's a missed opportunity, and I think his advisors should pay attention to those types of opportunities, because that's when the healing really starts, when you speak out at the moment of tragedy. Look, there are going to be people on the right that go after him. He didn't show up fast enough, soon enough, all of that. Throw all of that out. Right now, we need to focus on the human tragedy and recovery. I mean, as you said, I heard a count of 297 on the way in here this morning.
That's what I heard.
And growing, and as they go into more remote areas, we know how that typically plays out. Hopefully there's some good stories of the rescues that come out of it. But unfortunately, what we've seen in this political environment, especially as we get into the early 2012, is opportunistic politics on both sides. And the president is good at playing that. I'm asking him not to play it there. I hope he won't. Unfortunately, in every single speech that he's done, and I've had to track every one of them in office, literally, he always finds a way to put it in. Show up in Alabama, walk with the governor, meet the people, talk about America and coming together and fixing this, and nothing else. Do it in 3 minutes.